everybody. Welcome to the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Welcome to an even hotter than yesterday Misano.
Oh, absolutely. I can really feel it rising now. It's getting in there, isn't it? But I'm sure the drivers are having a lovely time in their full gear right now.
Yeah, they will be melting. I mean, it can't get much hotter than yesterday though, can it? I mean, there was a lot of action in that second race in particular.
There really was, and obviously the change in the grid as well. It all kind of flipped it on its head. So it's going to be interesting to see how this day pans out, I think, Chaz, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will have that in the back of their minds, but the One Truck family has come back together and I'm sure they're all excited to get racing once again in the beautiful sunshine. I'm sure you can hear the fantastic vibe we've got going on here. But speaking of the One Truck family, it's the name of a documentary that we published not too long ago with the FIA and we're all very excited to show you. We've got a lovely little trailer of it for you here. Great to be back once again here for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. The amount of times when I've been in an airport and you get chatting to somebody, a lot of them instantly go, wow, truck racing is a thing. You know, they're over 5 tons, 1,200 horsepower, 6,000 newton meters of torque. They're numbers that you don't see anywhere else in the motorsport world.
What would you consider as a wish to win the next championship?
I think we're to win the championship, okay. We are pushing as much as we can to go as fast as possible. Obviously, there's one guy in red, which is a step ahead of everyone else.
In the past 15 years, track racing became my life.
120 points. Epic stuff once again from Norbert Kisch and Rivage Racing. Nobody can seemingly stop them at the moment.
Guck dir Nobby an, dann weißt du genau, was ein Champion mitbringen muss.
Can anybody stop Norby doing triple Grand Slams? I mean, probably not. Albacetti goes through. He goes back in front of Norbert Kisch. It's not often we see anybody overtake Norby. Wow.
Wie funktioniert überhaupt die Zusammenarbeit zwischen euren beiden Teams?
Da habe ich jetzt eigentlich keinen Kommentar dafür, oder? Hast du eine neue Frage?
As you can see, it's a wonderful documentary. It's really, really enticing about the atmosphere here at the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And if you can put up with my voice for 1 hour longer, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'm here at the truck number 30 with Sasha Lenz. Sasha is having a good start to the championship so far. Penalties and everything have thrown the order up everywhere. But Sasha has ended the first day second in the championship. Sasha, you look quite relaxed. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, you know, but it was the first race week, first race day. Yeah. I'm one side it's really happy, we are in P2, but it's anyway, it was the first race, you know, if we stand now in Yarama and we have the same situation, then it's a different story, yeah, but anyway, one side it's fine, the other side it's not so fine. I have problems not with the trucks, with myself, yeah. I don't know why, but shit happens. But now it's a race. Now it's other strategy, yeah. So and I look forward, yeah.
Smashing. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
It wouldn't be a Sasha Lenz interview without a little swear word thrown in there, and you can tell he spent a lot of time with John Newell because he said there's no problems. Well, the problems are with myself. It's very northern.
Oh, they were very northern, that wasn't it? Now we have the Goodyear Winfoot Award joining us this year, which is very exciting, so prestigious, and we're going to chat with Davide Califano to tell us a little bit more. Hey, look at this, how exciting. I'm stood next to the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, which is looking absolutely stunning. Davide, tell us a little bit about this award.
Yeah, the Wingfoot Award is an award which is introduced by Goodyear in the championship where Goodyear is the sole tire supplier, the most important championship. So it's awarded in the FIA WEC championship, is awarded in the British Touring Car Championship, in the European Le Mans Series. And as 2026, we are bringing into the Goodyear FIA TRC, so we're very excited about this.
So exciting, and also it's a way that connects the fans and the community together because the fans do get to vote, don't they? Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, the Wingfoot Award is this is really the special thing about this award, because this is really awarded from the fans, meaning that on the Sunday there will be 3 nominations, 3 drivers will be nominated, and at the moment the fans will be able to play their role. So at the moment they can go on the Instagram page of the Goodyear and the official Instagram page of the Goodyear FITRC, and they can vote the driver who, according to their opinion, had the most astonishing performance over the weekend. So there's also something which makes this trophy very special, because also for the driver itself it's a recognition not only of the pure performance on the track, but also recognition from their fans. So that sounds very, very interesting and nice.
Absolutely, and I think there's lots of new things happening as well this year, and this being a bit of the cherry on the top, isn't it, this?
Yes, that's exactly how it is, yes.
Thank you, Davide. Thank you very much. A little bit of an insight there for you into the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, and you are going to be able to vote for that as fans during race 4. If you head to the Instagram for all the information, you're going to be able to pick who you'd like to see on the top spot, which is so exciting. Right, we're going to go quiet for a little bit now, but we do have some pictures of yesterday for you.
Questo ovviamente è chiamati di battimento, perché con queste velocità, queste staccate, altrimenti potrebbero verificarsi questo tipo di incidenti, per cui sono un po' più ripassati e quindi ancora più performanti. Nel 1992 per la prima volta è arrivato il grande circus dei track da corsa, dei camion da corsa a Misano, e fu un evento molto particolare che suscitò grande curiosità, anche perché arrivarono questi personaggi. C'erano anche fra l'altro dei pionieri, dei ambasciatori di pregio, perché in quegli anni un ex pilota del motomobilismo.
Hello then everybody, Chaz Draycott once again here in the commentary box at Misano. I tell you, those stairs are an absolute killer. But you know what? It's part of the fun having this new dual role for the 2026 season. They're certainly having me running around a lot, but you know what? It's so exciting. Really enjoying myself here, as is everybody on the grid by the look of it. We've got a lot of people making their way onto the grid now. We have a much longer grid walk for race 3. And if you'll excuse me, I am very much out of breath. I'm not the fittest person you've ever met, I can tell you that for free. But wow, what a fantastic atmosphere. It's lovely to be able to still be a part of the broadcasts and still get down there on the grid. I'm absolutely loving it already in the first weekend. So yeah, I hope you are too. Hope you're all having a good time wherever you may be around the world watching us here today. But the grid is getting flooded, much like these grandstands that we can see in the pictures now. It certainly is a very busy environment. We've obviously got a lot to think about in this first race of the day, third race of the weekend. There's René Reinert's son and his lovely wife ready to support him for the next race of the day. René having a good start to the championship so far in 2026. They did have to change the windscreen yesterday on that truck. And me being the massive nerd that I am can tell you that they've not quite put the window stickers on it right. But that's just a typical Chaz thing, isn't it, really, to notice? I care too much about stickers. Well, some people say so. It's going to be an exciting race, though. We've got an interesting grid. We've got 2 of our 3 titans of the titans, Norbert Kiss, Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete, on the front row of the grid. And then behind them, we have some of the young guns and some of the guys really trying their best to be at the very front of the order. We've got Bradley Smith. We've got Sasha Lenz, a previous race winner, of course. Lucas Hahn hoping to show that while he is a chrome driver, that's not where he is going to remain for very long. He is so talented, so quick. But we've got a good number of drivers that could all take big points away from this race. We are, however, as I'm sure some of you know by now, we're going to just welcome our international TV audience from around the world. I'm going to go quiet for a few moments. We'll go through our little TV graphic and we'll be back with you on the YouTube stream in just a moment. Don't go away.
Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship on a very hot Misano World Circuit here. Now, we do have Jochen with us right now just before the race begins. Jochen, how are you feeling?
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Really nice time practice. I enjoy to stay in the first row together with Nobby. Racing time is it now.
How is the weather for you today? Is that affecting you a little bit at all?
What?
How is the weather for you today? It's very hot on the grid today, isn't it?
Doesn't matter, hot, it's no problem. It's only water, you know.
Yeah.
That's it, no problem.
Okay, the tyres are going to stay good.
I love it when it's hot. Racing!
Let's go! That's the kind of energy that we need. Absolutely love that. Okay, the Italian anthem is now going on for you. I might step out of the way if you'd like to have a quick look at it. I'm going to get out so you can have a little check of it out.
Thank you. A brilliant rendition of the Italian national anthem there. It's a really lovely anthem to listen to, and it's great to have it blasting out around the speakers here at Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. All the teams are now being asked to make their way off the grid, so a lot of the personnel are now on the move. I can see a lot of Jochen Hahn's team just giving him good luck wishes just before the race. A lot of the teams are already making their way down most of the grid anyway. I can see Franz from the FIA. Let's have a look at the track that they will take place on here this afternoon. We have Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. Originally, it was designed for motorbike racing, so it's a tight, twisty, narrow circuit, but it's going to be fantastic for us here this afternoon. We have a number of corners that really are very difficult to get right. Curva del Rio that you can see on the left-hand side of the track map there, that is very, very difficult because it's an almost triple apex right-hander that they have to go through. It's a hairpin leading into another 90-degree. Curva Quercia, long braking zone there. It's a smooth corner as well, which is basically the worst nightmare of a racing truck because they have to be so balanced on the way in, so balanced on the way out. And when you've got 3 tons over the front axle that's doing all the turning, that is not easy to manage whatsoever. We have Curva Tramonto at the top of the map as well. And that on its own is a really difficult corner because that sets you up for the run back down the back straight. As you can see from the air temperature, it's now 27 degrees yet again. It's just been tickling 30 degrees all weekend. It's absolutely baking hot. But I tell you, we wouldn't have it any other way. And it sounds like neither would Jochen Hahn. He's been very, very happy with the temperatures. Like he said, the only time it ever bothers him is if it's raining. So we wait now. 1 minute board is shown at the front of the grid. Not long now until the 30-second board is shown. I've got an absolutely wonderful view from my office right now. I absolutely love it up here. It's so cool. You can see the front 2 rows of the grid all ready to go. In the glistening sunshine of Misano. And all the fans are all ready to go. They're ready for the action. They are lining the fences down the start-finish straight. They're packing the grandstand. They're all along the terrace above me as well. It's really excellent. We've got a number of guests already taking sort of position on the podium as well, ready to watch from up there. All the marshals have now got the clearance to get off the pit wall, and the green flag flies at the front of the order. And the Pace lap is underway, even still accompanied by the sound of air horns from the grandstands. Everybody making their way round, led by the Iveco S E-Way, which is the 100% electric official pace truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's lovely to once again have Iveco on board as a major partner of the championship, supporting us through and through. Everybody now making their way through the first couple of corners. This is where they start to monitor temperatures, make sure everything's all up to speed with the truck, and that there's nothing looking awry, let's say. Let's have a look at the grid then. It's Norbert Kish on pole position, Jochen Hahn alongside him, once again keeping Norby on his toes for another race. Antonio Albacete will start in third position on the right-hand side of the grid, with Lucas Hahn alongside him, hoping to be a hard charger as always. One of the main talking points of the weekend has been the pace of Bradley Smith in the brand new truck they have, and he has absolutely smashed it out of the park with another 5th place, just ahead of Sascha Lenz, who we spoke to earlier. A quick apology for Sascha's language, but I'm sure, much like me, you all find it just as funny. René Reinert will start 7th on the grid in truck 77. He was stuck there for quite a lot of yesterday. He's alongside Mark Taylor, hoping to take big points in chrome. Steffi Halm will start in 9th place with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on the 5th row of the grid in the 10th spot alongside her. Then we have John Newell and Stefan Faas, two close rivals from last season. They were both racing at the Hockenheim Ring just a few weeks ago. And then behind them, Jonathan Andre and Luke Garrett, two drivers that could do with a little bit more luck on their side this weekend. I'm sure that if they keep their noses clean in this one, they will get it. We have Stefan Kirsch, 15th on the grid, and from what I know, we will not get Clemens Hecker onto the grid for this race. They were still doing the engine change earlier on. Went by to at least wish them good luck with it. But as was explained by the team, they can't just put the engine in and then just kick its head in for a session and expect it to behave itself. You have to bed it in, much like a car engine in any of our cars back at home. You have to give it the early miles to sort of soften it in, get it all set up. So they can't just plug and play these engines, as much as some of the teams would wish that they could. So they make their way through the final sector here. And before long, the pace truck will be in. Norbert Kish will lead us once again. There is Stefan Kirsch leading the championship in chrome coming into this race, but maybe not after it if he's starting right at the back of the order. Let's see then, as the trucks build up speed down the start-finish straight, the engineers will shout go in their ears, and as the lights go out, the race begins here at Misano. It's a great start for Jochen Hahn. He's actually edged away a little bit from Norbert Kish. Norby moving over to the left-hand side to try and defend that outside line, because the outside is important at turn 1, gives you the inside for turn 2. Lucas Hahn remaining down the inside of Antonio Albacete, just gets away with it though, does Antonio. Bradley Smith runs wide, and then Sascha Lenz tries to take advantage of that. Steffi Halm side by side with Mark Taylor in the middle of the field there as well. Jonathan Andre trying to cling on to the back of the pack, but the top 3 Titans have spread apart now. They're single file, although I say that there's contact between Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kish. Jochen Hahn down the inside, Norby gets it back down the inside but doesn't have the overlap, and Jochen Hahn leads in Misano. He went for it down the inside at turn 4. It didn't work straight off the bat, but as Norby tried to close the door, there was a little touch, it put Norby wide, and now he's under attack from Antonio Albacete. We've got a race on now. Norby late on the brakes as ever, round the outside. Back end of the truck tries to kick out slightly. I just really hope it's not giving him a punch on that right rear, but he did lose a lot of ground there on the exit. 3 wide for the back there. One of the Ivecos shoveled off the road. That'll be Steffi Halm. But I really hope there's not a puncture on the back of Norby's truck. They can continue running when they've got, of course, just one tyre on the outside that has been punctured. They can only run, though, at about 90% pace. I was just trying to look out the window there, sorry, just to see if that tyre was punctured at all, but it doesn't seem like it from what I can see, but it may take a bit of time to go down slowly. There is Steffi Halm and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez next to each other, right in the thick of things. This is certainly a busy start to this race. Very, very cool stuff to watch. Let's have a look then at Norbert Kish as he comes through. So unfortunately for me, it's on the opposite side of the truck, so I'm not going to quite be able to see what the damage looks like. Across the line they go then. Jochen Hahn leads the way, Antonio Albacete in second position, Lucas Hahn in third, Norbert Kish fourth, but the fact that Norby is dropping away from Lucas slightly tells me that there is a puncture. We'll see. Bradley Smith fifth, sixth is Sasha Lenz, René Reinert seventh, Mark Taylor eighth, so a lot of the top 10 have actually stayed where they are. The only main change is actually that Norbert Kish has dropped away from the lead of the race and now dropped down into fourth position. It'll be a real shame though if the race was decided by contact like that. We'll have to see what the stewards think. Mark Taylor's wheel arch is flopping around there in the wind. Obviously the centrifugal wind from these trucks really blows the arches up rather than the wind from the front of the truck pressing it down. It's the actual tyre spinning that blows the arch up into the air. But Norby is seemingly struggling to catch back up with Lucas. It's now going to test his defensive driving. But into Curva Quercier. Yes, that right rear is down. That right rear on Norbert Kish's truck is definitely down. So he will now be at definitely not full pace, but it's not shredded the tyre apart. That's one thing that we always say actually about the Goodyear tyres. You know, even though they do get punctures, they can get damaged, they're not invincible at the end of the day. But they can really survive a lot of an impact. They won't tear, they won't rip apart, they won't fling debris and pieces everywhere. They're very, very, not just sustainable, but durable tyres as well. But now Bradley Smith, Sasha Lenz and René Reinert all chasing down Norbert Kish. Mark Taylor is under pressure there from Steffi Halm. These two close together after just one lap. Steffi missing part of the bumper. And as you can see, race control has noted the incident between truck 1, Norbert Kish, and truck 2, Jochen Hahn. But Norby's that quick, he can just stay in front of these guys even with one less tyre. A reminder to everybody that they do have 4 tyres on the rear of these trucks, so yeah, they get to at least continue on even if they do have a rear puncture. But Jochen Hahn leads, enjoying himself in the sunshine now. No major damage on the front right of that truck, but yeah, it's sorry, it'd be the front left of the truck, wouldn't it? But the bodywork seems to have survived. I think it was just wheel-to-wheel contact. Just saw Franz from the FIA, one of the technical delegates of the FIA, running onto the pit wall just to have a good look at the tyre as Norby went through. But you can see when he goes through a left-hander, it's really not behaving itself. He's really struggling with that. But so too is Sasha Lenz struggling with René Reinert. 3 wide into the right-hander. René Reinert taking pure advantage of that down the inside. 2 places for the price of 1. Bradley Smith's going to lose a place as well. Steffi Halm, I've never seen a penalty marker go above a truck in the air. Sasha Lenz back down the inside of René Reinert. Bit of a hip and shoulder. Through he goes. They remain. It just looks like there was 1 truck there, but no, there's actually 2 side by side. Oh, there's a big lock-up. Whoa, Antonio Albacete straight on, and he's off into the gravel-ish. No, not quite. He's just gone through out of my window, sorry. I know you can't see that on screen. There's contact with René Reinert and Bradley Smith in there. Steffi Halm wants a bit of it as well. There's a penalty marker. The poor thing comes back on the circuit, only just to get slapped again by, I think, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. This is busy, busy stuff to start the season here at Misano. But Antonio Albacete, it's amazing that he's actually continued on in the race, but hopefully there was no further failure or anything like that. But he went straight on. Sasha Lenz trying to shake that bodywork off, I think, actually. But René Reinert remains in front of Steffi Halm, Bradley Smith, Mark Taylor's in there as well. But what an exciting start to the season we've had. This has been fantastic so far. Very, very entertaining. I understand it may not be the best for some of the drivers, with them being frustrated at incidents, contact, whatever. But that's competition. Reinert's still ahead. But look at the train behind him. What a fantastic shot that was through the hairpin. All of them absolutely glued to each other. You'd love to see it. But across the line once again comes Jochen Hahn, doing wonderful things. He continues to lead the way here at Misano. Now, can he maintain that all the way through? We'll have to see, because he's going to get chased down very, very quickly here. There's going to be a number of drivers really wishing they could take that place away from him. But of course, they need to just follow on in his wheel tracks, make sure that they can just try and close him down, because let's not forget that catching is one thing, overtaking is quite another. And another thing to remember is that we have a One Truck Family documentary now available on YouTube. A lot of passion and a lot of hard work went into creating it. So if you'd give us your time to watch it, you'll get a real insight into the One Truck Family behind the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Steffi Halm down the inside of René Reinert, backs out of it into Curva Quercia. René just defending enough to stay in front, but it's Jochen Hahn, Lucas Hahn and Antonio Albacete at the moment. The top three, semi-different to how they were at the very start of the race. Antonio holding his ground despite that massive moment. I wish you could have seen how far off the circuit he went to come back on. It was actually rather impressive. Hopefully though, like I said, no further issue as a result of that. Sascha Lenz and Norbert Kish both receiving different bits of damage to the right rear of their truck. Norby with that puncture, Sascha with the wheel arch sort of floating up in the air after dislodging it earlier. René Reinert still trying to defend from Steffi Halm. Bradley Smith in the mix as well there. Bradley's in a great position here to try and take advantage of this, but still a few places down on where he started. It was the initial move from René to get down the inside of the pair of them that really shook things up. And then they come into the final corner once more. Jochen Hahn has now extended his race lead. His lead over Lucas Hahn is now 2.5 seconds, and it's a father-son 1-2 in the Ivecos at the moment. Not to spoil it too much, but part of the documentary that we covered in One Truck Family does actually look at the fact that we had a father-son 1-2 back at Zolder in a previous season, 2024. It's always a lovely thing to see. Bradley Smith has had a warning for penalty markers from what I can see. There is a white and black flag on the start-finish line. Norbert Kish now having to defend from Sascha Lenz. Sascha has just used the fact that he's got obviously all functioning tyres on his truck and Norby doesn't, to try and take some sort of advantage and get through into the top 5. Sascha comes into this one in second place in the championship, as I mentioned to him earlier. Everybody still cheering on Norby as best they can. He's got a massive amount of fans that were here yesterday and now today in the grandstands. As side by side a bit further down, we have John Newell going down the inside of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Jose Eduardo getting caught out there. John Newell going really well in this race here, moving forward in the Chrome class. Currently finds himself in 4th place in Chrome because Lucas Hahn leads the way there. 2nd place Bradley Smith, 3rd place Mark Taylor. Although in fact, actually, John has overtaken Mark Taylor, hasn't he? And since the first sector, John's gotten in front, so he's taken advantage of the fact that Mark and Jose are fighting much like they were a few seasons ago for the Chrome Championship. But now the race continues on. And we have to keep our eyes out as the Goodyear Wingfoot Award nominees will be named after this race. You guys can all vote along during the 4th race over on Instagram. And the 3 drivers that have really performed this weekend will be shortlisted for you, and you have to vote for your favourite. And it's been an interesting weekend, that's for sure, with a lot of penalties, disqualifications, incidents. It's been difficult to find somebody who's had a pretty perfect weekend. Norbert Kish, of course, with 2 race victories so far, is sure to be one of the nominees. But it depends how well this race goes, and obviously, if the stewards look at that incident from the start of the race, whose fault was it? They don't always have to apportion blame. It can be a racing incident, but at the same time, if there's a penalty for either driver there, then that's obviously a small mark against their name on whether they get the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, depending on what the panel decide. But Norby doing a great job at defending from Sascha Lenz at the moment, in fairness, considering he's got 5 tyres on that wagon instead of having all 6. John Newell in a fight there with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. John really hoping to get his elbows out a little bit. Lucas Hahn is being caught now by Antonio Albacete for second place. There is the move from Sasha Lenz, puts his nose down the inside. Norby goes to defend. He has to get out of it last moment, and Sasha Lenz goes through down the inside. And as they head back up the hill, it is Sasha with the advantage. He's able to get the power down much better off the corner due to having that extra tyre fully inflated. I can hear huge skid marks somewhere. Stefan Kirsch is absolutely lighting up his rears as he comes out of Curva Quercia. There is Lucas Hahn and Antonio Albacete, but you can see just how much time the rest of the field has lost with Norby defending in front of Sasha. Sasha now through, should be able to break away slightly. But the field is still pretty close together on lap 6 out of 12 here, halfway through the race. It's been a certainly exciting weekend so far, hasn't it? Still one race to go after this as well, so the gloves are pretty much still on for a lot of the drivers. There's Steffi Halm, currently running in 7th position. Steffi is a consistent front runner in the championship, so it's been interesting to see her sort of bob up and down the order across the weekend. But Sasha Lenz now up into 4th place. Norbert Kish down to 5th. René Reinert then having to be the next one to try and go through on his now teammate in the championship. John Newell there and Mark Taylor, 2 drivers, both fans of the numbers 8 and 1, as you can see. They've both been racing each other for a very long time. They joined us in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship together back in 2022 at the end of the season, and then since then they've been mainstays in our full-time racing field. And so too has the 100% renewable HVO diesel that our trucks run on. All of our trucks use the 100% sustainable fuel provided to us by Total Energies. Hope you all enjoyed my little interview with Jean-Francois Toulis from earlier on in the weekend. It was great to meet him and obviously have a good chat with him about the roadmap for further development. Now, is there a roadmap for further development here as René Reinert tries a move on Norbert Kish? Norby will want to defend this obviously for overall championship points, but knowing that that's his old truck next to him, he might have a little bit of sentiment there. And Steffi Halm's got no sentiment. She says, I don't care if it's an MAN, I'm going to drive around it. She tries to go down the inside and really make the move as René is out wide. Norby defends the inside to stop any sort of cutback. And now as they head down the straight, let's not forget, it's not all just a case of top speed and keeping it flat out all the way. Because as soon as they get to 100 miles an hour, 160 Ks, they cannot exceed that. It's tracked by GPS, by my good friend at Morelli, Andrea. We call him Super Mario, just because he's small. As, oh, dearie me, René Reinert's gone way too deep into the final sector. Steffi Halm's got a bit of that bumper hanging over the wheel, which could be difficult, but René loses out into Curva del Carro, and through goes Steffi up into 6th position. Her teammate, Jochen Hahn, crossing the line once more in front of me. Lucas Hahn in 2nd place. A good day to be an Iveco fan. Then it's Antonio Albacete. Then Sasha Lenz has broken away. But then Norbert Kish, insanely, the cork in the bottle, which he never is. Let's not forget, this is not a pure reflection on the pace of that truck. He has a puncture, and he's still able to defend like this. It's a marvellous display. And Steffi will try her very best to get on through. These two tangled last season quite dramatically. So I'm sure there will not be any holds barred. Let's see what Steffi can do. She's obviously got the chance to get the traction down on the exit of the corner that little bit more with that deflated tyre on the back of the MAN. Can she get a cut back down the inside here? Will Norby put it right place, right time? Of course he will. He's not a 7-time champion for nothing. From one way, then the next. That's where he's going to struggle, you see, to get out of that corner. Steffi sheds the bodywork of the truck over to the right-hand side, but it's when Norby goes through the left-handers, that's where he struggles. There's an incident between number 77 and 44. That's Steffi Halm and René Reinert. That's been noted apparently as well. Just seen the most insane sight go past the commentary box. A marshal on the back of a moped carrying 3 penalty markers under his arm as he steams around the circuit. Very, very funny thing to see. There's a penalty marker on the grass just outside the commentary box as well. They've been really flung about. Wonder what Tony Idden will have to say about that and the rest of race control. But a very, very interesting first race of the day here. Very, very interesting. This will be, if Norbert Kish doesn't win this race, this will be the first time since maybe 2023, I think, that he wouldn't have won the first race of the weekend. Or the first race of the day. He's that consistent, he's that fast. He's won every race 1 and 3. for the last couple of seasons. He's been absolutely untouchable, but that puncture has unfortunately put paid to that record at the moment for this season. It's still made it an interesting race, that's for sure. There would have been nothing intentional there. Now Norby continues on his defence. And he's side by side with Steffi Halm down the start-finish straight. Steffi hasn't quite got the overlap, actually. Norby moves back over to the left-hand side. He's fine through the right-handers because the truck can lean on the outer tyres on the left-hand side. It can lean on both of those left rears and that left front. But then through the left-handers, that's when he struggles to get the power down because that edge tyre wall is now completely collapsed. So he's just not able to get the push out of the corner that he needs. It's really difficult stuff, this, to manage. He's doing it very, very well at the moment. Just hoping that it's a good battle all the way to the end, this. And you can see, actually, if you look at the front wheels there as he came out of the left-hander, just as he exited the exit of Curva del Rio, he was having to just correct it slightly. Steffi now side by side into Curva Quercia, doesn't quite have the overlap again here. Norby turns in, struggles into the left-hander, but still manages to somehow stabilise it on the brakes. But the run out of the corner is completely owned by Steffi. All the fans dying to get a view of them going up the hill. They are all climbing the fences and having a look at this great battle that we've got going on. Norby now needs to just focus on using the traction off the corner as best he can. Side by side now down towards Curvone. You can see the way the truck is leaning down. He's just got rid of that overlap. He was just testing that he definitely got clear then. They do have really good cameras on these trucks, so they can see the rear bumper of the machines and roughly where the main sort of body surfaces are. So if they do need to peel back in front of one another like that, then they easily can do. But this is a great defence, this, by Norbert Kish. He's able to put the truck in the right place at the right time, at the right corners. But out in front, Jochen Hahn leads the way. On to lap 9 we go. On to lap 10 we go, sorry. With Lucas Hahn next up behind him, his son. Then Antonio Albacete, one of their main sparring partners over the last few years. Antonio said, "You never know what will happen in Misano." And it seems like he was absolutely right. You never know. There is Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, currently running in 9th position, actually. I thought he was in 8th position for a moment there, but no. 9th position for Jose Eduardo. 8th position is now Bradley Smith. Bradley, unfortunately, doesn't feature in the One Truck Family documentary, but if we make another one, we'll make sure he does, because he is an up-and-coming superstar. Either way, you can watch the documentary on YouTube, and it is very, very enjoyable. Gives you a great idea of the One Truck Family behind the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and all the wonderful people that are involved in making it tick. And some very interesting angles from all the drivers and teams, and a very funny segment, including none other than Jochen Hahn, of course. Norby is defending so beautifully at the moment. Doing such a great job of this. But Steffi has, unfortunately for Norby, managed to make it work on the exit of Curva Quercia this time round. An easy move in the end for Steffi, but with that puncture, Norby's just not able to get the power down. It was almost a case of when, not if, the Iveco got through. But for the rest of the lap, he's still going to be able to stick with her. That's the thing. It's the left-handers that really struggle for that MAN right now. So the final corner, Curva Quercia, is going to be difficult, and the exit of the first chicane is really tough. And there is Jose Eduardo Rodriguez onto the back of this train now. But look at the train indeed. We've got Steffi Halm ahead of Norbert Kish. There's a penalty marker going. It's gone absolutely flying. I just saw one of the marshals put his arms up in the air to say, "Oh, what?" Norbert Kish, René Reinert, Bradley Smith and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez right together. All 5 of them in a rather short queue. He's actually having another go back at Steffi Halm here. I was just looking at the sector times to see where he was losing the most time compared to the other drivers, but he's actually able to make it work that well that he's able to have another go at Steffi in that first sector. And there, side by side, Stefan Faas and Mark Taylor really stuck to each other. They've been fighting in the Chrome class for a long, long time now. Really good battle. Oh, Stefan has a bit of a wobble on the exit of the corner, and off he goes, off wide. But he's still got the run down the back straight as has something happened to Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor slowing towards the end of the straight, and I think something has gone amiss for the number 81. I can't see anything in particular from the window or from even the camera, but it looked like something came off. You can see black smoke underneath it. I think something has happened to the engine, maybe the turbocharger, but it seemed to not be behaving itself. It all looked almost like it was sort of on and off the throttle there. That's a huge, huge shame. Hopefully nothing to do with the maybe contact that he had with Stefan Faas on the exit of the corner. And Alan has just messaged me, bless him, Alan Taylor, right on the news. He's told me Mark has an engine problem. Mark reporting back to the team. That is a massive, massive shame. He had such promise to do such great things today. And we're now already on to the final lap. Jochen Hahn now clear of Lucas Hahn by 3 seconds. Lucas then another 9/10 of a second clear of Antonio Albacete. He's not disappearing up the road, but he's certainly in the mix. This is a great fight, though. Absolutely awesome fight. It's great to see the contact kept to a minimum. Well, we had an incident there noted, so there must have been contact between Mark Taylor and Stefan Faas, and that will ultimately decide which one of them ends the race and which one doesn't. On the final lap here, you know, Antonio Albacete is right with Lucas Hahn. I've just seen them out the window, right together. Yeah, there was something came off there, and now it's been shattered to bits by whoever's just run over it. Bradley Smith having a go. Oh, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez having a look down the inside of Bradley. There was a tiny kiss on the bumper bar there, but he managed to get away with it, and just glances the penalty marker. Look how far that other one has been thrown up the road. René Reinert trying everything to get past Norbert Kish. It's certainly been a very, very interesting race, this one. Almost, to quote a favourite commentator of mine, David Addison, to quote him, it's one of those races where you'd like to hide the checkered flag just so it can carry on. Very, very entertaining stuff here, but it's looking like it's going to be a first victory of the season for Jochen Hahn here. He's only got a couple more corners to go. There is Norbert Kish in a position we don't normally see him in when it comes to races 1 and 3 of the weekend. But round the final corner, Jochen Hahn takes victory. It's a father-son 1-2 here at Misano. Lucas Hahn second. Antonio Albacete comes through in 4th place. 5th place is going to be Steffi Halm ahead of Norbert Kish. These results all provisional, of course. René Reinert next up, then Bradley Smith ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Good stuff from Bradley Smith to stay ahead of the Portuguese driver, get himself back on the podium in Chrome as well. And John Newell will end up on the Chrome podium as well. Through there goes Stefan Faas with no front bumper, Jonathan Andre, Luke Garrett, and then Stefan Kirsch. Very, very interesting stuff. Mark Taylor will complete the Chrome finishes, and it was a non-start for Clemens Hecker, who we missed from that race, but hopefully they'll have the engine sorted for later this afternoon. Well, that was a very, very busy first race of Sunday, wasn't it? Wow. Lots to look at there. Think about, obviously, the mentioned our provisional, of course, but Jochen Hahn takes the race win from Lucas Hahn, a father-son 1-2. That'll be a lovely thing to see in the paddock as they celebrate together, I'm sure. Antonio Albacete, another podium for him, actually. That's going to be his 2nd podium in a row. He got 2nd place yesterday afternoon, and now he comes away from race 3 with a 3rd place podium as well. On provisional calculations here, because I've got my own points spreadsheet for the championship. Based on this current provisional result, that will put Jochen Hahn in the lead of the championship by just 1 point from Norbert Kisch, with Lucas Hahn then 6 points behind. And then he's 2 points ahead of Sascha Lenz, 4 points then ahead of Antonio Albacete. It's very, very close. 13 points covering the top 5 after just 3 races. There is your Chrome class winner, Lucas Hahn, taking a very well-deserved race victory there. He finishes ahead of Bradley Smith and John Newell. Then behind them in the overall classification, we then had Stefan Faas and Jonathan Andre completing the top 5. Luke Garrett, Stefan Kirsch and Mark Taylor found it to the flag in the end despite the engine issues. And then Clemens Hecker with a non-start. I'll have a look and see if I can calculate the Chrome standings as well, roughly. It looks like Lucas Hahn with that one will go back to the top. 2 race wins in races 1 and 3, the ones that give you the most points. Even though he's at a DNF, he would lead the Chrome Championship. John Newell, 2nd place in the standings now, ahead of Stefan Kirsch. Stefan Faas and Jonathan Andre tied on points. Bradley Smith now moves into 6th with 18 points. You can hear the rounds of applause in the grandstands there. Everybody absolutely loving it. But a 1-2 for the Ivecos in Italy. Not bad going at all. And a 1-2 for father and son, Jochen and Lucas Hahn. Incredible stuff. Obviously the incident near the start between Jochen and Norby will be looked at, I'm sure, by the stewards. But that was a lovely, lovely race to watch. And there's a sight for sore eyes. The 2 Ivecos, father and son, together on the podium. That's so cool. Antonio Albacete will squeeze the MAN into the gap there, and hopefully Jochen won't close the door on him. But there they go. The post-race debrief begins. And the trucks are now right outside my window as they head down into the paddock. There is Lucas Hahn, very happy indeed. Makes his way around to Dad. Oh, there you go. How cool is that? What a great feeling that must be. Not just 1-2 in terms of a team together, but look at the celebrations there with Lucas. Norbert Kisch at the moment is just waiting nearby to make his way back into the paddock. I imagine not particularly happy with the incident, but of course it'll be looked at. Big congratulations to Jochen Hahn for his first win of the season. Feels like it's been a while since the last one. And a 1-2 for father and son is just epic. And there's Diana Hahn as well. And a brand new cap as well. She even had to take the cardboard little sort of fitment out of it then. And again, the debrief begins there. I've got Mark Taylor's truck just outside my window right now, and I can't see anything immediately obvious with it. It may be an internal thing in the engine that caused the problem. But there's a great feel-good atmosphere down there in the paddock right now, with Jochen and Lucas Hahn first and second. Antonio Albacete in 3rd place will be really pleased. And yeah, that's how I feel, Lucas, as well. What a race. Lots going on in that one, lots of battles, lots of great fights. And we're going to speak to our race winner, shall we? Jochen Hahn is with Louise.
Jochen, how are you feeling after that?
Yeah, I feel very grateful. It's, you know, the only possibility to overtake Norbert Kisch is in the first couple of corners. So every time there, I'm a little bit faster, and he make a mistake, and I go in. Okay, we have a small contact, but from my side, it's absolutely fair play. But he have a puncture tire, unlucky, yeah? It's a shame, but in the end, we have, I think, a good fight.
Absolutely.
And I'm very happy together with Lucas and Antonio.
I was going to say, your son's following closely behind. How does that feel? That must be lovely. You're going to be on there together. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I make so proud, you know. He make a mega job. I don't see the overtaking from Antonio, but fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you go away and head to the podium. It's very exciting, but congratulations. And we had a bit of good luck before, didn't we? So it's good. Thank you so much, Jochen. Thank you. Going to throw back to Chaz now for the result.
Thank you, Louise. Fantastic to hear from Jochen there. He seems very happy, and yeah, he's always proud of Lucas, but when it's a 1-2, it's absolutely wonderful. Jochen Hahn wins, Lucas Hahn second, Antonio Albacete third, and then Sasha Lenz in fourth place for some more all-important championship points. Steffi Hallman, the top 5 in that one, with Norbert Kisch in sixth place, René Reiner in seventh, and Bradley Smith in eighth. We then have Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and John Newell completing the top 10 positions. Behind them in 11th was Stefan Faas and Jonathan Andre, with Luke Garrett 13th, Stefan Kirsch 14th. With an engine problem, we have Mark Taylor in 15th position. Hopefully something that's an easy fix for the race later on this afternoon that will round out the weekend. Let's have a look at race 3 highlights, shall we, and pick up the best moments from that encounter. We're very used to seeing Norbert Kisch and Jochen Hahn on the front row of the grid, but this time they were head-to-head into turn 1, and it looked like everything was all sorted out on the exit, but slight contact between Jochen and Norby meant that the Hungarian driver ended up with a puncture and started to drop time on each lap, making his life a lot more difficult. These trucks can run with a puncture, but it's very hard to keep them at full pace. René Reiner, in the meantime, was having a great scrap with Sasha Lenz and Bradley Smith. Sasha would eventually be the one that ends up on top, making this move down the inside. Penalty markers were once again flying, and I wonder if Tony Idden will have something to say, but it's been a very, very interesting race 1 of Sunday. Race number 3 of the weekend. Sasha Lenz then went down the inside of Norbert Kisch, made the move, and would go on to finish the race in 4th position just off the podium, while Steffi Halm was next in the queue to try and make the move. There was battles in the Chrome class. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez got to see John Newell fighting Mark Taylor and co. in his mirrors. René Reiner eventually went wide after maybe some contact with Steffi in the later stages of the race as they tried to overtake Norby. But soon enough, the number 44 machine would mount an attack that would prove successful, and she would go through and finish in 6th place. Norby was very, very quick to try and come back though and make another move, but in the end it did not go off. It was Mark Taylor and Stefan Faas side by side, something coming free from Mark's truck and getting smashed into the ground. But it was Jochen Hahn and Lucas Hahn, the real talking point of that race, and they were first and second, father and son. An absolutely lovely thing to see. There's another lovely thing to see, our new trophies for Misano this year. Lots of them to be given out, and all the teams and drivers and people are down near the podium. The Goodyear caps, very sought after Goodyear caps. And now we will get the trophies presented to the podium. Now the drivers will be out onto said podium. Thank you to my good friend Dominic Wilhelms, who has provided me with the names of the wonderful staff that are going to be giving out the trophies here. There's lots of handshakes going on. I believe that there is Andrea Albani, managing director of Misano World Circuit. And there we go. Boris, the local announcer, has just hyped up a little bit, so I can tell you drivers are going to be coming to the podium just now. I don't know if you can hear him very well, but he's really hyping it up. Wait for it. He's making a hell of an announcement of this, I'm telling you. But third place overall, we are delighted to say that we have Antonio Albacete finishing in third place for T-Sport Bernau. There he is, an absolute legend of the sport, Antonio. Great to see him get another podium result for the hard work that he and T-Sport Bernau put in. They really do deserve it. All of the teams do, but it's such a fantastic outfit they have at T-Sport Bernau. It's hard to ignore. Second place, Lucas Hahn. He's going to be really pleased with that. An overall second place finish as well puts him right near the top part of the championship order. But then our race winner for the first time this season, and the first time in what feels like a while, we have the German Titan himself, 6-time champion, Jochen Hahn. And a huge cheer from the people below. Jochen will be relieved with that victory. Albacete receives his trophy for third position, handed to him by Davide Califano from Goodyear. I do have Davide's role on here, but it's a very long name. He's the head of brand and value proposition in the commercial region of EMEA. There is Davide. Sorry, I was trying to search through my notes there to make sure. Davide Califano from Goodyear, everybody. And then now Lucas has his trophy. There's only one left to give, and that will be to Jochen Hahn. Your race winner receives his race-winning trophy, also from Davide Califano of Goodyear. And a big smile on his face. And a big raise of the trophy to the team. And now the German national anthem. And there you go, the German national anthem for our race-winning driver, Jochen Hahn. He's joined in good company there by his son Lucas and Antonio Albacete. We will see if we can have a look at the driver's standings in just a moment's time. And hopefully it will prove that my maths is correct, so we'll see. This is always the exciting bit for me. I mean, the whole thing is exciting, don't get me wrong. I love these weekends. It is a joy. But when you can prove that your own maths is right, combined with the official results math, then it's always really, really satisfying. Thumbs up from Albacete. And now it's time for champagne, but I doubt they're going to soak each other here because they still have another race in just over an hour's time. But how often do you get to share the podium with your son, right? They definitely don't have a limit on how many overalls and things they've got. But the three of them trying to at least soak the media. Some of the T-Sport guys have actually stood under the podium to get drenched. That's brilliant to see. All in good fun. Very good stuff. And here we go. These are the overall championship standings. And I'm happy to say my maths was right. It's Jochen Hahn leading the way, 37 points from Norbert Kirsch on 36. We then have Lucas Hahn in third position, 2 points clear of Sascha Lenz. Antonio Albacete is in fifth place ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. We then have on 13 points Steffi Halm, Stefan Kirsch on 9 points ahead of René Reinert, and John Newell inside the top 10 on 5 points. Behind them, we have Stefan Faas in 11th position, Bradley Smith in 12th, Jonathan Andre in 13th, with Mark Taylor joining him on a singular point so far from their campaign. Now we will move over to the Chrome class podium. And as the drivers get welcomed up, it's John Newell to go first onto the podium. John will be really pleased with that result to get some silverware from the first weekend of the season. That's John's second podium running. Second place going that way of Bradley Smith after an 8th place in a disqualification yesterday in class. He will be really pleased to finally get some silverware to reflect their great performances so far. But the winner, Lucas Hahn, takes his second race victory of the season in the Chrome class. He had a DNF yesterday afternoon, but as he said, what can I do? I need to at least crack on. There we go. There is the trophy being handed over by the director of Misano World Circuit. Andrea Albani, he's handing, but all three of them over, I believe, this time round. It was Davide Califano doing the first three, Andrea, and then Davide will do the team's podium as well. And now Lucas Hahn will receive his race-winning trophy with a hell of a cheer from everyone down below. And now, once again, we will have the German national anthem, as Lucas is our winning driver. And there you go, your Chrome class podium. Lucas Hahn taking the win from Bradley Smith and John Newell. Three absolute superstars in truck racing, all together on the podium. Lucas is sure to hopefully join us for a full season at some point in the near future. He's been a race-by-race entrant for a long time now. And don't forget, these first three performances of the weekend are going to count towards getting themselves into the Goodyear Wingfoot Award nominations. And then you can vote for them during race 4 on the Instagram page. The jury will go and decide which 3 drivers they will be. But I think it's safe to say that I'd imagine Lucas Hahn is amongst them. Let's have a look at the Chrome Championship standings then. After that third race of the weekend. Lucas Hahn on 40 points, 31 points for John Newell. He moves up to second ahead of Stefan Kirsch, who drops down to third. Stefan Faas is now in 4th place, tied with Jonathan Andre on 22 points. 18 points for Bradley Smith ahead of Mark Taylor on 17. Then we have Luke Garrett on 10. And Clement Hecker not starting that race. Hopefully we'll be able to score some more points later on this afternoon. Let's go down to the pit lane, and Louise has got Antonio Albacete on standby.
Antonio, how are you feeling? Well done.
Well, I mean, I am a little bit disappointed, you know, because I make a mistake. I mean, the whole weekend I don't have any trouble with the brakes, and I don't know what happened, but maybe it was my mistake. Maybe I was pushing a little bit harder to follow Jochen, and maybe I brake a little bit late. But I locked the tires. I nearly go. Well, I go off the track, you know, and I lose the position with Lucas. Then I was catching him. I think I overheat the tires. Then I take a little bit easy, and then I push again through the end of the race. But it was not enough for Lucas to make a mistake. So anyway, happy with the 3rd place.
Absolutely.
Because we see that the track is going well, you know, and we are happy.
That's the main thing. And how are you feeling about the next race? Are you looking forward to it? Getting the mindset already?
I mean, next race is always a lottery, you know. Yeah. So I hope that we have a good point for the lottery and everything goes well.
You've got to pop your ticket in there, haven't you? And then see how you get on, Antonio.
Thank you.
There you go. Well done, and best of luck for the next race as well. I'm sure you're going to absolutely smash it. Thank you. Okay, there we go. We are going to... I think there we go. Lovely heat today. It's been really, really hot. There are the results for you. But don't go anywhere, because at 3:30, of course, we have the final race of today. So we'll see you then.